This is Joe. He's a second grade student at Centennial Christian School in Terrace, British Columbia, Canada. Today, he is at school to learn about subtraction, Canadian explorers, and the biblical judges. But how is he being prepared for the next 5 years of elementary? How will his elementary schooling set him up for high school? How is our school's mission and vision building a foundation that he can depend on for his entire life? What we need is a plan to take Joe and the rest of our students into the future. A strategic plan. Centennial Christian School was founded in 1967 by a number of Dutch immigrants who settled in the Terrace area. Since this was Canada's centennial year, the immigrants decided to name the school Centennial Christian. For the first 21 years of its existence, the school held classes for kindergarten to grade 7 in the back of the Christian Reformed Church. We moved out of the church building and into our own building in 1988 and added grades 8 to 12. And in 2001, CCS celebrated its first grade 12 grad class. In the 52-year history of the school we've been blessed with, CCS has continually sought to be faithful to God's calling and His word from Proverbs. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. So, how long have you been principal at Centennial?
I've been part of the CCS community for the past 30 years, serving as vice principal for 11 years and principal for the past 8 years.
And what makes learning at Centennial special?
Well, there are many positives about Centennial.
Caring, tight-knit community, caring, knowledgeable teachers and staff.
Joseph grew older, the wonderful blanket grew older too.
What?
Who have a sense of humor. Out of classroom opportunities, and top-notch education for students with learning disabilities.
So it appears that Joe has a lot to look forward to.
Absolutely, but if we're going to educate Joe for the future, we need a plan for the future.
We need to put ourselves in a position to realize the full potential of the various opportunities we have. This starts with our location. We're blessed to live in one of the most beautiful places on earth. So, how do we best be earth keepers and creation enjoyers in this dynamic region? Then there are some blank slates we have yet to take advantage of. Centennial Christian owns land just blocks away from our campus that is currently unused. We need a plan to use this space effectively. So we've asked ourselves the question, how do we prepare students like Joe for grade 7 in 2023?
So does CCS have a vision for the future?
Well, we have a deep hope for our students.
As faithful followers of Christ, we invite our students to explore their role in God's story while nurturing and empowering students to Christ-like living. We intentionally integrate faith and faith formation into the entire learning environment. Students are equipped to become transforming agents serving in God's world. But in order to consistently bring this message to our students, we need to see things as they are, identify our goals, and then take the necessary steps to move in that direction.
So what steps are being taken right now? How is CCS going to realize its vision?
We need to build a bridge. The bridge is Centennial Christian's strategic plan for 2019 to 2023, and it will lay out how we fulfill our vision for this school for the next 4 years. The plan we've developed is the result of a 7-step process that is just now drawing to its conclusion. Step 1 was to gain the support of the Society of Christian Schools in BC and their Director of Development, Kathy Kitts. The next 3 steps were our data collection phase. Everyone with a stake in the culture of Centennial Christian School had to be asked how they saw our school's future. First, we conducted a board readiness poll and held board focus groups led by Kathy Kitts. Then we conducted staff focus groups and had an online poll led by myself. Finally, we released stakeholder surveys to parents, alumni, and donors. Step 5 was a 2-day retreat in which the stakeholder surveys were analyzed and data was organized. Then we set our priorities and determined our goals for the desired future. Step 6 was carried out by an action plan committee. They created a detailed action plan to implement each strategy, including a schedule and timeline of goals. This draft forms the blueprint for our bridge between our dreams for the future and actually doing them.
The final step, which occurred on June 14, was to present the draft to the board and receive final approval.
So just to be clear, this 7-step process was used to develop the strategic plan and plan out the bridge. Now it's about to be put into action.
Right. What our strategic plan does is plan out how we'll make the most of the opportunities and resources God has blessed us with.
It inks in what our vision is, and it will lay out core values for our school. By following this strategic plan, we will be building the bridge that will allow us to fulfill our vision.
CCS is committed to following a plan to take us through 2023. This will take Joe to grade 7. But what about beyond that? How do we plan to bring Joe through grade 12? How do we, in 2019, prepare a 2nd grade student for a workforce that we can't even imagine in 2030?
These are hard questions with no solid silver bullet answers. But we do have 5 key principles that will be key to implementing the 4-year strategic plan, and I believe we'll continue to use them well beyond 2023. The 5 principles are communication, delegation, accountability, celebration, and flexibility. They're applicable to the modern workforce and also to modern education. And if we employ these principles effectively, and by the grace of God, we will give our students the best opportunity to lean into the deep hope we have for them and to joyfully serve our Master and King.
Train up a child in the way he should go.
And when he is old,
He will not depart from it.